everyone, welcome back to Upwards with Pradyut and Tisha. I'm Tisha Relia Hande and today I'm going to talk to you about your LinkedIn content strategy. Now before we get into this video, we've actually created a video on how you can simply optimize your LinkedIn profile. So before you watch this, I highly recommend you watch that video which I'm linking here and putting in the description below. Now let's get to the million-dollar question. What do I post on LinkedIn? Now, if you think of content in general, there are broadly three buckets, right? Content that motivates or inspires us, content which educates us and teaches us something, or content which is entertaining. Now, the first step in your content strategy is to broadly decide which bucket are you going to be. Of course, platforms like Instagram and Facebook, even YouTube is much higher on the entertainment aspect, right? But there are some amazing people like Rahul Subramaniam, say Kumar Varun, Tanmay Bhatt, who have actually made a lot of fun, entertaining content on LinkedIn and they have a huge following. So really there is a place for all three, but you need to decide which is your style of content, and then that style will be at least 60 to 70% of your content strategy. When it comes to LinkedIn as a platform, there are of course people who create content every single day, right? But if that's something that you cannot do in the starting, what I recommend is you post 1 or 2 times a week. Post on a weekday between 11 to 2 p.m. because that's really when you get the best reach. So don't think of it as, oh my god, I have to post on LinkedIn. Think of it as I have to do 4 to 8 posts this entire month. So really, can I sit down on one day, on one Sunday and craft up my content strategy, craft up my posts, find the right images or videos to go with it, and then keep consistently posting over the month. Now, the first content bucket is things that motivate you, right? It could be people, it could be incidents. Especially a lot of people come on LinkedIn to find that motivation. And you know, when you're having a low day, just going and seeing even an inspirational quote can actually add a burst of motivation for you. Now, for me personally, I'm surrounded by an amazing tribe of women and they really motivate me. So that's something I talk a lot about on this platform. For example, my mother starting her own YouTube channel at the age of 54 and doing a fantastic job at it, or just, you know, the women who surround me, the conversations I have with them, where I draw motivation from. That's what I share on LinkedIn to help and motivate other people. The second content bucket is moments that inspire me. Now, as a marketer, everywhere around me there are such amazing examples of consumer behavior. Simple things like when you go down to your society, mostly now societies have stopped the delivery of products to our houses, right? So there's a huge rack over there where there'll be lots of brands, and so many times I'll observe a brand and be like, oh wow, this looks amazing, and I'll go up and I'll, you know, find it on Instagram. So really there are so many moments which inspire us as marketers or even as financial professionals, which are happening daily around us. So observe those moments and write about them, because that's where some amazing insights and content come from. The third content bucket is new features or launches. Now we know with the evolution that's happening on each and every content platform, so many new things keep happening. I remember just about 3 years ago, I had put out a post about TikTok, and at that time a lot of brands were like, oh, TikTok is not meant for us. And I know that of course the platform is no longer in India, but just think about how it's changed consumer behavior, right? Really, everyone today is become a content creator. Video and short format of video is reigning supreme, whether it's Reels or YouTube Shorts. All platforms are gravitating towards that short form of content. So while that platform may not be here, but the impact that it had on the way we consume content, that remains even today. So talk about these new features, new launches, new trends, and how brands and people can leverage them. The fourth bucket is tools. Now, I would say that one big part of my content strategy is sharing digital tools. There are so many incredible tools out there. A lot of them are actually free. And when I started creating content on LinkedIn, my idea was to really be able to share a lot of these free tools. So whether it is Ninja Analytics, SEO tools, a lot of the posts I do are about these tools, how they've helped me and how you can also leverage them. So similarly, whichever field you belong to, I'm sure that you know there are a plethora of great tools. If it's a free tool, please share why you think people should use it, what use case it solves, and if it's a paid tool, then also talk about why you think it's worth that investment and where you might have seen ROI coming from that tool. The next bucket is your experiences in the corporate world. Now, this can really be classified into 2 parts. One is the brands that you work for. For example, I have worked for some brands which I absolutely love, whether it was my time at Monster Energy or now my time at L'Oreal. I absolutely love the brand that I currently work on, which is Kérastase, and I very proudly share information about it. I'll share, stories about my mom using it, my friends using it, just how much I love the brand. So that is of course one part of it. The other is just experiences, things you might have learned, behavior that you might have learned by observing someone else, small things like email etiquette and things like that that you have learned in your corporate journey could really help someone who's just starting off. Now, when you are just starting off your corporate journey, you may not have a lot of content. One thing that I recommend is read a lot of reports and then share your analysis of those reports. For example, every year there is a VR social report that comes out which has such great insights. Similarly, every few months amazing reports are coming. So if you can go through that report, condense 5 or 6 points and tell people why they should read that report. First thing is, it forces you to make sure that you're reading content, you're always staying on top of trends and you really know what's going on, what's happening in the digital space. Secondly, you're adding a lot of value because if someone cannot read the whole report, at least they know that they can have the key takeaways from your post. So it's not just about sharing a report, it's really about adding value to the life of the reader. So these were some of the ideas that I had in terms of what works for me as my content strategy. Of course, all the posts whose screenshots that I've added, I've tried to keep the insights and the life so you could see how these posts have performed. These are just a few content buckets. We promise that there will be a part 2 of this video for more content ideas. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and we shall see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.